Gregor Noriskin is my name. I was born in Cape Town in South Africa. I moved to Johannesburg when I was 18 months.
I'm Mehdi. I'm from Algeria. I lived there for 14 years. And then I moved to Montreal, where I live now.
Hi, I'm Tommy Lewis. I'm a software engineer manager. I lived in Japan. I lived in Montgomery, Alabama. For a long time, I lived in Texas.
My name is Christie, and I was born in Toronto. I came here last summer for another internship.
I came to Vancouver in 2007. So I had been working for Microsoft for about 10 years. I'd been here a lot. I actually met my wife-to-be here.
To me, Vancouver, I've been here for over 5 years now, has always been home to me.
When did you first come to Vancouver?
For this internship, 1.5 months ago. It's my first time in Vancouver, yeah. Like the biggest difference, I'd say, is the culture. We're closer to Asia, so there's like a lot of Asian culture all around there. There's a lot of Asian culture in Montreal too, but not as much in Algeria, as you can guess. It's in Africa. People are more talkative there. Like when I walk outside, it happens a lot that I just talk to people in SkyTrain, which doesn't happen often in Montreal.
So I'd spent some time in Northern Europe, in Holland and in Sweden, and you know, those cities have got a certain character that is often missing from US cities. And when I compared it to where I was living, I got this sense of sort of like something European about it, something more sophisticated. And obviously the beauty of it is hard to miss in the summer.
I really like going near Stanley Park because there's a lot of good Korean food there, close to downtown.
You say one of your friends from back home is gonna come visit you while you're in Vancouver. Where would you take them around?
The first place, I guess, would be Granville Island because it's kind of close to downtown, but it's still like a kind of nice, quaint little place for someone to like check out. When the weather's nice, it's like you're right by the water, but there's not too many people, and there's also like a cute little market that you can go to, so I kind of like that.
We'd go to Whistler for skiing.
Have you been up to Whistler?
Not yet, but I have a lot about it.
I especially love it when I'm walking around in a part of Vancouver that I never knew and I find a dim sum place. I'll always be like, let's go in there, right? Even if it's for a snack or for us to gorge ourselves.
And there's really, really good ramen places around here. You know, obviously there's Jenya here on the corner, which is like pretty high end. But then there's little holes in the wall that like, I wouldn't even be able to tell you what the name of them is.
Is there any song that reminds you of Vancouver when you listen to it?
Yeah, actually there is a song called Sunbather from a band called Deaf Heaven. A lot of times, especially during the summer, I'll play it over and over again because I'll get that feeling, especially when I'm looking out at the water or I'm looking at the mountains or the forest. And it's kind of this summation of things that bring it together into this really kind of awesome whole.
There is one song that I just listen on repeat when I work, like all the time. Enter Blue, Imagery by Sounds.
Well, I started listening to the latest Lights album because she was on my flight from Toronto to Vancouver, and then I was like, oh, like let me just like listen to her album on the flight, and then I haven't stopped listening to it.
Fourth Dimension, and there's this track called Time Spill. It sort of embodies Vancouver for me.
If I was making a piece of art that would reflect Vancouver, I think it would just be a myriad of faces, right? Because I think at the end of the day, I mean, we have some awesome architecture, right? From new to brutalist architecture. But what I find is that the faces are really what make up Vancouver. I think that, you know, when you talk about sort of the soul of Vancouver, you're talking about people.
We stay here because we want to be here. People actually actively want to be here, and they're investing for the long term of their own energy and effort to make it, you know, make it the best possible place they can. And of course, doing that in the context of a company like Microsoft that, you know, is very aware that people, it's really the people, the actual people who make a company successful. Yeah, I think that's why this place is a success.
If you were to create a piece of artwork and the topic was Vancouver, what would you paint on the picture?
It would be a ball of ramen tilted to the side, and it's like raining ramen.
Maybe like rain, like a lot of rain.